9 games through the 2023 NFL season, and I'm finally ready to say it, Commanders fans. I believe Sam Howell is the future of the Washington Commanders at the quarterback position, and today I'm going to tell you. Well, also, is Emmanuel Forbes, first-round rookie out of Mississippi State, back in our good graces after a bounce-back performance versus the Patriots? I'll answer that as well. And then also, could the Commanders still make the playoffs? They might. I will let you know later on in today's show. But first, go ahead, click that subscribe button. Join our family today. We are growing like crazy. And this week, Seahawks Today host Tyler Jones has challenged us to a sub battle. So the most new subs that our channels get this week, the one that gets the most is going to be the winner. And Tyler Jones has a message for Commanders fans.
Seahawks taking on the Commies this week, and I gotta tell you, the Commies are such a poverty franchise. I cannot wait for the Seahawks to just beat the shit out of this team this weekend. And, you know, when I look at the Commies and their history, this is a team that really can't do anything right. You guys can't even decide on a name. You were the damn football team for a couple of years. Now you're this team that represents all the corruption within Washington. So get ready to lose. Get ready to fire Ron Rivera, and the ongoing disaster that is the Washington Commanders continues.
If you want my opinion, I don't think anybody that's wearing that shirt should be talking shit about anybody's team, if you ask me. But if you want us to beat the Seattle Seahawks Today team today, this week, go ahead, click that subscribe button right now. If that doesn't want to make you click that subscribe button, I don't know what will. Join our family today. Click that subscribe button. Now let's get into Sam Howell here, where I'm officially ready to say it, Commanders fans. I think Sam Howell is this team's franchise quarterback moving forward, and I really do think that the Washington Commanders are going to build around Sam Howell moving into the 2024 offseason. They certainly have the cap space. They certainly have the draft picks to build around him. And after that performance versus the New England Patriots in Week 9, I'm ready to say it. Sam Howell is our guy moving forward, and I feel pretty darn confident in that. You look at his numbers through 9 games so far this year, a really nice completion percentage of 66.6%. You got 274.6 yards per game. Really good number there as well. You got 14 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. And really, Sam Howell has really impressed me to this point in the NFL season. He's moving up in the pocket. He's not afraid to throw in the middle of the field. He's getting through his progressions really well. And something that I really like about Sam is that he is able to throw the football when the defense knows that he's throwing it. But lots of quarterbacks, you know, they're really good when the defense is kind of playing the run half, playing the pass the other half. You know, Brock Purdy's a great example of that. But Sam Howell's the type of guy where even if the defense knows he has to throw, he can still deliver darts to the middle of the field, outside the numbers. He's got a strong arm. He's an underrated rusher of the football as well. I really like Sam Howell's game to this point. And you know what? He's dealt with a really bad offensive line to this point. Now, this offensive line has actually gotten a little bit better with Tyler Larson, the new center, coming in here over the last couple of weeks. But you look at these grades right now, and this just isn't going to cut it overall. I think Charles Leno Jr. has been fine at left tackle, could certainly get better. Same thing with Andrew Wiley on the right side. I think Sam Cosmi has actually been really good as a guard this year. He's currently ranked as the 12th highest graded guard according to Pro Football Focus. And you know what? Sadiq Charles, certainly not the best or anything like that, but he's currently grading as about an average NFL offensive guard. So right now, this Commanders offensive line certainly looking better over the last couple of weeks, which is good news for Sam Howell. Just 4 sacks allowed in the last 2 weeks. And it's not like they were going up against cupcakes here, right? They were going up against the really talented Eagles defensive line. And then also the New England Patriots know how to get after the quarterback as well. So the Commanders absolutely look like they're improving in that regard, which is great news for their quarterback as the season goes on. And I only see things getting better and better for Howell as this season continues, as this team continues to evaluate him as a potential franchise quarterback option. And I really do think that he is the type of guy, especially because he's a 5th-round pick. So his cap hit over the next 2 seasons, 24 and 25 here, it's going to be just over $1 million. So that gives you the flexibility to really build this roster around him with those draft picks that you got for Montez Sweat and Chase Young, along with the over $95 million in cap space that you have going into NFL free agency next season. You got Sam Howell, who I think is a really nice piece. Hopefully Eric Bieniemy is still here calling the plays by next year. Might even be the head coach. I guess we'll have to see on that one. But really excited for Sam's future. Do you agree with me? Is Sam Howell going to be the starting quarterback for the Commanders at the start of the 2024 season? Type yes or type no. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by putting a yes or no down there in the comments. Now let's talk about rookie corner Emmanuel Forbes here. And, after a really nice performance, bounce-back performance back in the starting lineup versus the New England Patriots here in Week 9, is he back in our good graces here? We've been bashing Forbes here on the show over the last couple of weeks, and for good reason, I might add, right? He got toasted by A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, and a bunch of other wide receivers that are considered to be some of the best in the league. And you know what? You draft Emmanuel Forbes to be able to cover those types of receivers eventually in his NFL career. He was benched, but it really seems like he's gone about things the right way, and he's earned himself a starting spot once again in Jack Del Rio's defense. And I think for the rest of the season here, you've already unloaded Montez Sweat. You've already unloaded Chase Young. You have to ride this kid, and you got to get him the reps to really get him used to playing in the National Football League. He's a very aggressive corner. He's bitten on a ton of double moves so far this year, and that's definitely a weakness in his game. But you know what? Aggressive corners tend to get lots of interceptions. They tend to make big plays, and Emmanuel actually played really darn well against the New England Patriots. Now, I know the Patriots receiving core is among the worst in the National Football League, so it was a good get-back game for Emmanuel. It seems like he's going to be alongside Kendall Fuller and Benjamin St-Juste here in the secondary for the rest of the season. And although I would rather have Christian Gonzalez, who looked really, really good before he got injured with the New England Patriots this year, I certainly like Emmanuel Forbes' kind of bulldog mentality there. Loves to get aggressive. I hope he puts some more meat on his bones as the years goes on. But overall, I'm still feeling pretty optimistic about Forbes' future. Now, coming up here, I'm going to let you know if the playoffs are still within reach for the Washington Commanders after a 4-5 start. But first, I want to tell you about this awesome t-shirt combo that we have available on the Fanatics website from our friends at Fanatics. Go to chatsports.com/CommandersX2 to get your hands on this awesome Commanders t-shirt combo. Nice white long sleeve t-shirt matched with a burgundy short sleeve. This is their brand new design, and it's on sale for just a limited time only. Get yours while there's still time here. Go to chatsports.com/CommandersX2 to get your Commanders t-shirt combo today. So let's talk about the Commanders here, where after that win versus the Patriots, you go up to 4-5. And, the NFC right now, I think there's about 6 teams that are pretty much locks to make the playoffs, right? You probably got Detroit in the NFC North. You got the Eagles in the NFC East, probably going to be the winners in this division. Then you've got the 49ers probably going to win the West. And then in the South, it could be either Atlanta or New Orleans or maybe even Tampa Bay. Who knows? But, you look at the wild card teams, and I think for sure Dallas is probably going to be a wild card team this year, and then also the Seattle Seahawks. But that leaves that seventh spot for like teams like Minnesota, for teams like whoever doesn't win the NFC South. And I really do think the Commanders sitting at 4-5 could be a decent team here that could surprise some people and snag that seventh wild card spot in the NFC playoff picture by the end of the NFL season. So here's the remaining schedule for our Commanders here. You go to the Seahawks next week. You got the Giants, Cowboys, Dolphins, Rams, Jets, 49ers, and Cowboys. And let me tell you, man, I think that the road to 9-8, I think 9-8 probably gets you into the playoff picture in the NFC. Here's kind of a roadmap that could actually happen for the Commanders. If you can beat the Giants, you can win every game that you're supposed to win. Giants, Jets, Rams, those teams that are kind of struggling right now. And then you can pull a couple of tough wins out, maybe even sweep the Cowboys here like this. Beat them on Thanksgiving. I think that's absolutely possible for the Commanders. And in Week 18, you just beat the Cowboys last year in Week 18. So I think it's absolutely possible for the Commanders to potentially get to 9-8. Also, the Dolphins, they're going to be traveling to FedEx Field. They're a warm weather team. It's going to be cold. That one could certainly be an upset as well. So even if you split with the Cowboys, the road to 9-8 is definitely not impossible, and it absolutely could be wishful thinking at this point to think that the Commanders make the playoffs this year. You are starting at 4-5. You just beat a 2-7 Patriots team by 3 points, right? So you already traded away Chase Young and Montez Sweat. So I could certainly see why some people would be like, Jack, there's no way the Commanders are going to make the playoffs. But I think when you look at the rest of the schedule, there is a roadmap there to get to 9-8. I think the Commanders could still be in this thing. But let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. What % chance do you give the Commanders to make the playoffs here in 2023, even without Montez Sweat and Chase Young? Put it on a scale of 0 to 100 for me down in the comment section. And for me, guys, I'm going to go with 20%. I'm going to give them a 1 in 5 shot to make the NFL playoffs. And honestly, it might be higher than this, right? The only reason why I don't have it higher than this is the Cowboys are a damn good football team right now. You kind of have to bank on beating them at least once in order to get into the playoffs. Also, you're going to have to win every single game that you're supposed to. So I think that right now, I think it's good to have maybe a little bit of optimism, a little bit of a hope sitting at 4 and 5, but definitely don't get your hopes up too high at this point because this has been a struggling football team to this point. But I definitely think the potential for a nice story to end this season is certainly there. Now, that'll be it for the today's show, guys. Really do appreciate all of your support. Make sure you click that subscribe button for more Commanders news and rumors coverage as the week continues, all culminating in Sunday's watch party versus the Seahawks. Make sure you click that subscribe button to help us beat Seahawks today. And with that, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. And as always, hail to the Commanders.